This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
The best of the Morning X.
99X.
The Morning X straight up. Let's go to Herman Darvig in New York City.
You know, I always
Autograph expert.
always enjoy having you on, always have interesting things. What did Frank Sinatra's death do to his autograph?
What does any death do to those autographs?
Well, in his
Sinatra's
case.
autograph has always been valuable because he's part of American history. I mean, sooner or later, everyone dies. So while it might have come as a shock at the time, it wasn't really a surprise. He was ill, But it increased the value, not that much because it was way up there before then. When people collect autographs, some people just collect signatures. And basically a signature just proves the person knew how to write his or her name. What really went up in value were letters and signed photographs, especially the older ones from the 40s and 50s. Things like that. A signature of Sinatra today is retail at least $100 for a signature.
What is your most prized possession autograph?
Oh, let's see. This is really an old one. It's a document signed by Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And this was written, I think, in about the year 1499 or something.
Hey, what's it worth?
It's in Spanish, and it concerns an order to the royal bakers to provide baked goods for people at the castle, I guess. That's worth about $5,000 or $6,000.
Also, does the value of the autograph increase depending or decrease depending on what the autograph is signed? For instance, Leslie and I were going to ask you, we did this interview with the Dalai Lama and got an autograph from the Dalai Lama. Right. And, first of all, are those worth anything? Is that a rare autograph?
Well, Dalai Lama is not a rare autograph. I mean, he's been around for a long time. I think he was just a child when he became the Dalai Lama. But because he won the Nobel Peace Prize, there's extra value to it because more people want it because of that. A signature of Dalai Lama is probably worth about $75. But if he wrote more than just his signature...
Leslie?
Mm-hmm.
What
he wrote a little prayer.
That's very good. That you can, bring it up to $300 to $400 just with
wow.
Okay.
Like Fram.
Add $5 on for a prayer.
Also, if any of your listeners get autographs in person, don't just ask them to write their name.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if they're... I don't know, if they're in music and they compose, let them write a musical note. If they're a singer, let them write the title of their song. A baseball player, how many home runs they've hit or how many victories, if they're a pitcher, they've gotten. Just something extra that makes what you have unique. Because the whole thing in autographs, as far as value, it's supply and demand.
Yeah, I chickened out, but I had wanted to have the Dalai Lama autograph a golf ball.
People collect that autograph golf balls, autograph baseballs, and they don't have to be in the sport to.
Right. Well, only because half the people only know him from Caddyshack.
Well, that's
true. Anyway.
Quickly, does it devalue the autograph if it says to someone? Like,
Most
to Jimmy.
People think that, but if someone wants someone's autograph, they won't care.
Okay.
If it's someone who's alive, yeah, it will devalue it. Because they'd rather get, without their name on it. But if you have a signed photograph of Franklin D. Roosevelt, it says to someone else. Well, fine. It was written to somebody else.
Right, whatever. It's a piece.
Let's go to the phones.
Yeah. Hey, Jack.
Hello?
Jack, you're on.
All right. I got a golf scorecard with President Ford's autograph on it.
That's good. Ford is not that rare because he does sign autographs even through the mail, authentic autographs, and he left the White House over 20 years ago already. Time flies. And that's probably worth still about $100, $120. There's a great connection of Ford and golf,
Which of the living presidents has the autograph worth the most?
Jimmy Carter has signed, and his autograph is valuable. Probably worth about $50, just a signature. But then again, you have him write a quote, maybe from his inaugural address, or just lines, and you've really you've made it more unique. If that's more, you've made it unique, and more people would want it because it's different.
Hey, Jay?
Yeah.
You're on with Herman.
Okay. I have got a black and white 8x10 photo. It's from the movie Patriot Games, and it is signed by Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm. Again, it has value. Now, what more people would want Harrison Ford from Star Wars than from something else. But that was the big thing.
Patriot Games is what he has.
Yeah, that's still $50 to $75.
Okay.
Now, hopefully it's authentic because a lot of movie star stuff sent through the mail.
Well, I've been able to verify this, and I've had a couple other people. Dealers verify it, and it is authentic.
That's good. Still somewhere in there.
Okay.
Great. Thanks, Jay.
Okay.
Now, Herman, you told me about a week or so ago that, especially in this part of the country, stuff from the Civil War and from the Confederacy in particular is very valuable.
Yeah, items related to the Confederacy are much more valuable than items related to the Union. During the Civil War. In fact, a signature of Robert E. Lee is worth about 8 times as much as a signature of Ulysses S. Grant. And Grant was also President of the United States. Signatures of Lee sell for over $1,000. We're just talking about a signature on a piece of paper. Letters that had been written during the Civil War, we're talking about 5,000 to 10,000, even more. Not only the generals, but the soldiers. A letter written by a soldier during the Civil War, a letter from the Confederacy, could be worth anywhere from $300 up to $3,000, depending on the content. I mean, if a Confederate soldier describes a battle, an important battle, we're talking about big money there, and if he happens to mention someone important who was at the battle, I mean, Jefferson Davis was known to have gone to the battlefield at times. As he mentions, he saw President Davis there. We're talking about big money, and this is even if the person who wrote it just signs "Your brother Will" or something like that.
Hey, Jake, you're on with Herman.
Oh, hi. I have an autograph I was wondering about. I have an autograph of Ty Cobb on a book called The Rules of Baseball.
Okay,
That's
another
cool.
famous Georgian.
Wow, that's
Ty
cool.
Cobb is very much in demand, and signed book, talking about $300, $400.
Hey.
Again, everything depends on condition.
Ty was drunk at the time. That was his condition. How about
Tom?
yeah.
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, I got an autograph of Sonny Bono.
It was just on a card. We're talking about maybe $25, $30 because he signed when he was part of Sonny and Cher, and then when he went to Congress, he signed, and plus more letters were written. And even though you had a machine called the Auto Pen that reproduces a signature perfectly using a real pen, Sonny Bono was very personable, and I've never known anyone who tried to get his autograph in person where he refused.
Yeah, a lot of Bonos out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Herman, with all the hoopla for the re-releasing of Gone with the Wind, any autographs from any of the actors that may not be living, maybe even Margaret Mitchell?
Gone with the Wind is one of the few movies that people collect as far as autographs, just the movie. Anyone associated with Gone with the Wind is valuable. Mm-hmm. Margaret Mitchell letters where she mentions Gone with the Wind. That's the only book she ever wrote, which is mind-boggling when you think of it. Wrote one book, and that was it. Signature of Margaret Mitchell is about $300. Letters mentioning Gone with the Wind can go $1,500, $2,000, even more. I once saw a letter written by her, a very short letter where someone had asked her what happened after.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have, of course, the second book was written. But what happened after the book ended? What happened to the characters? And she wrote back, they didn't exist. At the end of that book, they were over with. That's it. They did not go on because the characters only existed in the book. That letter's worth about $3,000 to $4,000.
Wow.
Of all the famous actors, Clark Gable and Vivian Leigh, do you know whose autograph is the most valuable of those at Gone with the Wind?
Who?
One guy who was right just in the first scene, a man named George Reeves.
How is his more
who later on became Superman on television.
Yeah.
And his signature's worth more than Clark Gable's. How
That's
about
interesting.
This interview isn't over. More after a quick break. You can also find it and more on the Morning X with Barnes and Leslie podcast. You're inside the best of the Morning X.
Actor Michael Rosenbaum, he knows some of the most talented people in the business.
Let's get inside of Kevin Smith. This is a great house. Who knew playing Lex Luthor would pay this well? Now I want to see Gene Hackman's place, John Cryer's place. None will be as cool. And let's get inside of the great Tom Hopper.
I always love it when you have these long-form conversations, because you do these press tours. They come with this energy, the host.
What's it like? So tough.
And I just love just having a normal conversation.
And that's sort of what the podcast is.
The Inside of You podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.